What is going on, guys? My name is Nicholas Merton here at Data Dash, and today I have a very special video for all of you who are new to cryptocurrencies. So a lot of you out there are wondering, how can I just get my feet wet into cryptocurrencies? I don't want to put my life savings away in it. At the same time, though, I want to reap the benefits of getting in it early. Well, guys, if you're here today, I can tell you you're in the right place, because I'm going to show you all how to set up a very simple and small $500 cryptocurrency portfolio. It's going to be very simple. I'm going to teach you guys all the ropes to get started from right at the basics, and then also what route you might want to take, whether it be investing in altcoins or just simply investing in Bitcoin. And I'll make sure to give you the entire procedure for all of those. So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys, and get this done as quick as possible so you can go about starting to invest in cryptocurrencies. So there's three main requirements I want to say right off the bat you're going to need. I would say, in my opinion, though you can invest with any amount of USD, I recommend that you invest with $500 at a minimum. And the reason I put this number up there is because you will get eaten up by fees. Much like in traditional markets where you have to pay commission for trading stocks, you have to pay fees to purchase Bitcoin on an exchange. There's costs associated with it, time and management, and also all the systems behind it that run it. So they have to charge fees pretty much in any exchange. Second, maintain patience. It takes time to transfer Bitcoin, whether it be to your wallet or to an exchange, because the blockchain has a pace that it runs at. It's not infinitely quick like that, like bam, bam, bam. You know, you got to give it some time. There's millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin being traded in any given hour, so we have to be patient on it, guys. The third thing I want to mention is know your transfer points. Now, a lot of people, even who are experienced traders, would mean, what does that mean? In my definition of transfer points, I'm talking about where to send Bitcoin when you, like how and where to send Bitcoin when you need it. So for example, if you want to send it to your wallet, make sure you have your wallet address ready, and make sure you have all your login information to get into your wallet, things like that. So make sure you have all your login information and all this stuff, and we'll cover a little bit more about that in a while. So let's go about starting up step one. No matter what route you're taking, you're gonna want to have a wallet downloaded on your computer or whatever device you're using. I would prefer using Electrum. Electrum is one of the most consistent, widely adopted, and secure wallets out there for Bitcoin. So what I would say is to go down in the description, click on the link below. I have one for Electrum, and you guys can download your operating system's version. Next up, we're going to go ahead and click open on the setup. Once it's downloaded, you guys can pause the video until that happens. But once you've done that, we're going to go about setting it up. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure to select the right download location, which is most likely on your C drive. I would recommend that you just do the default one they have. And then select a new wallet and make sure that it is a standard wallet, not a multi-sig wallet or anything. It should just be what the option gives you right off the bat. So after that, there are two very important variables you guys need to download, okay? These are two very important parts. The first one is the wallet-generated seed, and this is something that the wallet is going to generate just for you. And it is, I think if I'm remembering correctly, it's a combination of 15 words in a certain order that you need to have written down and utilize to log into your wallet. Now, you won't always have to use it. I'm pretty sure you don't have to use it every time, but it's best to have this. You need to have it. So don't type it on your computer where someone can have access to it. Write it on a piece of paper and store it somewhere that you can not only remember, but somewhere is that no one can find it. So it's completely protected. And then the second thing that you guys have to have written down and memorized is your password. And this is something that you guys get to make. This is something that I would recommend you do not use even on any social media or any form of communication or anything like that. Or a password that a friend might know. Don't use that. Make it something that's very encrypted and secure that only you remember, all right? Now, here's a few photos. I just wanted to put some up, and this should be kind of what it looks like. There's on the right side, you can see the wallet seed generator. As I said, the installation should be in your C drive, the default one, where they'll make an Electrum file. And then a standard new wallet. That's what you want. You don't want multi-sig hardware or wallet with two-factor authentication. We're not going to worry about that right now. This should be perfectly fine and secure. And this is what Electrum should look like once you open it up. Now, what you'll see right on the screen is 5 tabs that you should see. History, send, receive, contacts, and console. The main one we're going to focus on, luckily in the photo it's showing that, is the receiving address. Now, what is a receiving address? To put it in simple terms, guys, this is the information you're going to have to plug in on our exchange, which is what I'll cover next, to actually get your Bitcoin into your wallet, okay? Now, some of you might not be exchanging it into your wallet, so don't do it right away and don't hop ahead to the next part. I'm going to go detail by detail on how you should approach this, depending on how you want to trade and everything like that. So this receiving address is important though. And it's the way that our exchange will send the Bitcoin to this wallet rather than that wallet or that wallet. So it's important to understand what a receive address is. So next up, we're going to talk about obtaining Bitcoin. So how do we obtain Bitcoin? Well, we have to get it through an exchange. And if you click on the link down below, there's a link to an exchange known as Coinbase. And I really recommend you guys click on the link, because if you click on it, when you register, you'll get 10 free Bitcoin, or sorry, $10 worth of Bitcoin. My apologies. And you'll get it added to your purchase of $100 or over. So it's a pretty sweet deal. And if you're doing 500, you get that extra $10 to invest for the long term or put it into altcoins. So I think it's a really cool deal, guys. And if you're wondering about the kind of the risk factor of Coinbase, there is little to no risk whatsoever. Coinbase is not only one of the most widely used exchanges, it's one of the most secure. Coinbase keeps 97% of its reserved Bitcoin inside of highly encrypted storage offline from the network. So there's no way that someone could just simply come in and hack it. So it's very secure, guys, and it's something that you shouldn't worry about. Coinbase is kept very consistent. So the next thing you're going to need is when you're signing up for an account, you have to do all the standard procedures, name, email, stuff like that. But it's going to ask you for not only proper real information, but it's going to ask you for your banking card. So for example, if you have a credit or debit card, and it's also going to ask you for an ID. And this is where it can take a little bit to actually get towards your first purchase. They need something to make sure you're identified, and this is a rule from KYC, know your customer. And it's a thing in the finance sector for exchanges to know who's making transactions on their exchange. It's just a nice standard thing to have, and it's a good way to secure that they know that you're a real individual and to have that information just in case for legal purposes. So next up, once you've been certified, once you've confirmed your account through your email, go ahead towards the buy panel to purchase your first Bitcoin. Now, basically what you're going to do is type in on the dollar amount how much you want to order in the sense of US dollars. And on the right side, you should see a certain numerical value with BTC next to it. And that pretty much means if you're buying at only 500, for example, you're going to see a decimal amount. And the reason that is because you're buying what's known as mini Bitcoin or a fraction of Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin. It's just part of a Bitcoin. And that's the cool thing about Bitcoin is it's not like dollars where you have dollars and cents. It's literally like a decimal, a portion of a Bitcoin. And it can trail on for a while. These are what's known as Satoshis if you're completely new to cryptocurrency. So the second thing I want to tell you guys, you want to type in the proper address. And I can't say it in words how important it is to put the proper address when you type send. Now, like I said, guys, if you want to go trade altcoins, do not put your wallet address yet. We're not transferring it to our wallet if you want to trade altcoins. Now, if you just want to hold Bitcoin by itself and you don't want to take my portfolio advice and everything like that, don't worry. I'm not going to critique you. It's your choice. If you just want to hold Bitcoin and hold it for the long term or use it as a means of exchange, go ahead and put your wallet address that it gave you on the receiving wallet address and put that into Coinbase, and you can plug in your transaction. It's pretty simple, explanatory, and easy to do. But I want to talk about the two different ways you can transfer here, okay? So there's two major scenarios that people are coming to me with in the sense of like, look, I just want to hold Bitcoin, and I want to hold it for the long term, and I want to keep it with that one coin. I really believe Bitcoin's the next big thing. The second person says, I want to hold altcoins, and might possibly want to hold Bitcoin as well, or it might just be that they just want to hold altcoins. Well, the way you can do that is through two different funnels, all right? So both of them start on Coinbase, our exchange, to get actual Bitcoin. And then we have two paths, one for Electrum and one for Bittrex, which is the exchange we're going to be using to actually go out and buy our altcoins, if that's what you want to do. So there's two ways you can do this, okay? So if you want to do it and just deliver it to your wallet, like I stated before, put the receiving address of your wallet on Coinbase, okay? If you want to buy altcoins and still hold your Bitcoin as well, in an exchange, you want to take the address from your Bittrex account and plug it into Coinbase. Now, we haven't talked about that yet. If you want to buy altcoins and you want to do the whole portfolio setup that I've been talking about, we can go on ahead and we're going to talk about that. However, if you don't want to just put it in your wallet, if you do want to just put it in your wallet and that's what your objective is, just to hold Bitcoin, you're good to go. The tutorial's over for you, and that's how you pretty much simply get Bitcoin into a wallet for the long term. So next up, we've got the idea of setting up a Bittrex account. Now, what is Bittrex? Bittrex is another exchange where you can actually transact Bitcoin for altcoins. It's pretty much an open market where you can buy and sell different altcoins of your liking, and they have a wide variety of the actual stable, steady altcoins. So, how do we do this? Well, much like on Coinbase, we got to create an account, and I would recommend just go ahead and look in the description. There's a sign-up link to create an account. And basically, once you've created an account on there, it's a little less tedious than Coinbase. It's pretty simple, explanatory. You set up an account, link up everything, and then once you're confirmed, you open up your account and you want to go to the wallet tab. So I'll definitely, I would say, pause the video if you guys I know understand it's a lot to do, but once you've done that, go ahead and send your Bitcoin to your Bittrex wallet. So this is the second type of channeling we were talking about, sending it directly from Coinbase to your Bittrex wallet. Now, how do you do that? Well, what you're going to see in your wallet is the list of different wallets that Bittrex offers for you. You can store a variety of different coins in here and hold them until you want to sell them. However, what's really cool is that all you have to do is simply click the plus sign next to Bitcoin. Now, like I said, there's going to be a lot of different wallets. Make sure you click the plus sign next to Bitcoin, okay? And it's going to provide you with a receiving address, much like you had with your wallet. And that receiving address is going to be what Coinbase sends the Bitcoin to. So it's now in your virtual Bittrex wallet. So make sure you click the right plus sign. Make sure you get the right receiving address. And one thing I'd always tell you guys, a good way to check your receiving address instead of reading every single letter and number in between, look at the first letter and number and the last letter and number. And make sure that they match up with what you're typing into Coinbase. And usually from there on out, you'll be good to go. So basically, once you have that plugged in, sorry, I just got to click to the next slide. You might have seen it for a second, and it's a very important rule. But the one thing I really want to reiterate is basically you put it in your Coinbase, it sends over, and this leads me to my next point. Guys, you got to be patient, okay? Especially now, when things are kind of off and on and stuff in the cryptocurrency market, and people are really getting interested. The blockchain is a little backed up, and just like any transfer with Bitcoin, it takes time, okay? So just don't be fearful and checking it every 5 minutes saying, oh my God, where's my Bitcoin? Don't worry about it. It just takes a little bit of time to send. As long as you type that right address, it will send, okay? So now that we've done that, we're on to the fun part, guys. How do I build a proper portfolio if I want to buy some altcoins? Well, I've talked about this in a previous video, and I'm going to recap on it here. You want to make sure you diversify your portfolio. Do not put all of your money in one coin. I don't care how much hype you've heard from one person about how this coin is going to be the next thing. Oh, I believe Ethereum is going to be the greatest coin. Guys, you have to diversify. And I'm going to tell you all why later on, okay? Because you will get burnt if you don't follow these rules. The market will rip you apart, and they will rip apart the money that you invest in there and steal it right from your hands unless you're smart about it. So how do we do this? Well, first off, we're thinking in the long term, and we want to make sure we have a diverse approach. So there's three main categories of coins in the sense of their valuation. There's large caps, there's mid caps, and small caps. Basically, the different sizes of coins that fit into certain categories. So, for example, a good few examples of large caps would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. They're the very well-known ones. I would say that large caps are usually a part of the top 5 coins. They usually have a market cap over 1 billion. Now, that is subject to change over time. If you're watching this a year or two from now, who knows how big crypto markets are and what the average valuation will be for the top 5, or what should be the standard. But I definitely say, at least for now, over $1 billion market cap and wide-scale use and adoption. Basically meaning people are using it. Either they have business clients they're working with that are utilizing the technology, or they've got massive media coverage, things like that, where they're actually getting attention. Next up is the mid caps, and I recommend you have 50% of your portfolio in these mid caps. Some of them include Neo, which was previously known as Ant Shares, Coin, and Stratus. Now, basically, some of the rules for mid caps go as follows. I recommend that they be in the top 30 coins on coinmarketcap.com in the sense of valuation. For market cap, it should be well over 200 million. And there also has to be growing popularity in media coverage, meaning that it's starting to get some attention. People are covering it, talking about its technology. I recommend, too, I didn't mention this, but they should have good dev teams and actually have a a concept that's ready to market, okay? Meaning that it's built to actually provide a solution to a very large problem. So the last thing is the small caps, and this is what should make up about 25% of your portfolio. And a few good names of these are Digibuy, Ubiq, and Mysterium. Now, some of those coins can sometimes go out of this range, but I'd recommend you only select the top 100 coins, because once you get past that, the market cap gets a little too small, and you can be susceptible to whales, or pump and dumpers, as a lot of people call them. So the next thing is that it usually is under a $200 million market cap. Now, remember, that goes for pretty much all the rest of the coins. You don't want to invest in micro caps, guys. Those are risky, okay? And that's something that's usually around the like $5 to $10 million range. Keep it above there. Try to invest in 20 million or above, all right? And then the last thing is within the rules is that it has to be usually a new concept or in early development, maybe has a small dev team or has ambitious ideas and concepts around the currency and its use, but hasn't actually fully implemented all the technology. So let's go on to talking about a few rules, guys. There's not too many complicated rules, but they are extremely important. As you see on the second line, you will get burnt if you don't follow these, okay? Have at least 2 different coins for each category. And when I say category, I mean the different levels of valuation size. So the large, the mid cap, and the small cap. And have 2 of each in that sense. So maybe a good portfolio might look like for your large caps, some Bitcoin and some Ethereum. And then on the mid caps, you have some Neo and you have some Stratus. And then on the last one, you've got some Mysterium and some Ubiq. So you've got good 6 coins. That's the minimum I recommend. Anywhere from 6 to 10 coins is a good diversification approach in this stage of cryptocurrency, guys. So the second thing, you notice how I didn't give you guys just a list of cryptocurrencies to buy. First off, that would be stupid of me to do because things are always changing. All right, so if this video in a year or two would be rendered worthless in the sense of giving you guys advice for that. What I am going to give you that is going to last much longer and will always be applicable in cryptocurrency is doing your research. Okay, guys? Do not buy into hype. And the reason I'm saying this is because I have looked around the web. I've seen every single corner of the cryptocurrency sphere, and I've seen people getting burnt in this market, meaning that they just lose all their money because they put it into one coin, they don't do their research, they don't diversify, and they don't actually invest money in coins that are built to succeed. You have to look for cryptocurrencies with good teams, good purposes behind them, good tech, and a lot of other factors, especially adoption, okay? Because you can have all those great things, but is it being adopted? Is it being used? That is a big selling point for cryptocurrencies. If they can market themselves well, that is a good thing. So, the last thing I want to talk about, guys, do not trade with emotions, okay? And set price levels to sell. And I'm going to explain the price levels thing, but I really want to reiterate, do not let your decisions be made by your emotions, all right? You need to come into every single transaction, and this goes for cryptocurrencies or normal other exchanges like trading stocks or ETFs or anything like that. You have to come in with a strategy, whereas other people are all bouncing in, tossing in their money, and gambling it away with their emotions. You're going to come in with strategy, and you're going to be the smarter one here. So, basically speaking, let's say, for example, you have a cryptocurrency that you've bought at $5, okay? And we're going to talk about 2 different types of sell orders, okay? So you've bought a new cryptocurrency. It's XYZ cryptocurrency at $5 per coin, okay? That's cool. That's good. You got your coins that you wanted. So there's 2 different types. There's a stop and a limit, okay? Now, a stop is built as a protection device. Now, I don't know if you can physically do this in Bittrex. Some things let you set stop and limit orders. I know that Bittrex allows you to set limits, but I've never really set a stop before. A stop is basically saying that I will sell all my coins if they hit $4 in our case scenario. So you're limiting your risk profile to a 20% loss. So let's say, for example, things don't go the way you want and it goes down to $4 and it sells out. Yeah, you lost 20% of your investment. That stinks in that one coin. However, you're not losing 30, 40, or 50% that might come in the future. It's a protection device. It limits and mitigates your risk, which is a good step, and it is a very disciplinary thing to do. And in fact, you should feel good when you do it. And sometimes when it happens, you shouldn't feel bad about yourself. It's a simple process that always happens in financial markets. The second thing is limit orders, or limit sell orders. So basically what that means is, let's say, for example, you bought that $5 coin. And you're telling yourself, you know what? I could see this going up 100% over the next 2 or 3 years. I'm going to make sure I don't sell until it's $10, which is 100% return. It's ambitious, but you're giving it time. So what you're going to do is pretty much saying with a limit order at $10, you're saying, I am not selling this until it reaches $10, okay? Now, what I would recommend with you all is that I wouldn't do it at the big evens like that, like 5, 10, 15, whatever. I would recommend you do it 20 or 30 cents before those big evens, so you get ahead of all those people who are thinking the exact same way as you. That's another human psychology thing, is that for some reason in markets, we like the big even numbers. We don't like random generated numbers. We like to sell at 100 or 200 or 50 or 20. Those round numbers that we can easily identify with and that are easy to type. So anyways, that's it with the sell orders, but make sure to stay disciplined and come in with a strategy. Now, this is an important thing to cover, guys. How to cycle your profits. Now, what do I mean by this? This is something I covered in a previous video on building a long-term portfolio. And I basically talk about how you cycle money. So let's say, for example, you reached a sell point with one of your small caps and you made a profit. Good job. Awesome. Well, here's how you're going to reinvest that money if you want to put it back into crypto. I'd put 50% back into small caps and then 50% back into mid caps. And then once we go to mid caps, if you sold your mid cap and made a nice profit, hey man, congrats. Put 50% back into the mid caps and put 50% back into the large caps. And if you've made profits or sold your large caps, I would recommend you just hold your large caps for the long term, or you reinvest it in different large caps. If you think that there's, for example, if you think Ethereum is going to go over Bitcoin, do that. That's all you should do. That, or you should cash it out to USD Tether if you think that the market is having a steady pullback or there's some fear coming in. And USD Tether is a cryptocurrency you can use that pretty much has a dollar backed up behind every one of them. So it's like holding cash in crypto. So anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm happy I was able to do this video for you all. I really want to say best of luck and happy investing. The reason I didn't give you guys any specifics is because I want you to run with it. I gave you the rule set, and so long as you follow that rule set and you really do your research, you guys will most likely turn a profit in this market. It's not too hard if you're thinking in the long term rather than swing trading. So if you guys liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. I've got all kinds of content coming on this channel. And remember, I will be posting videos on the daily if you guys would like to check out my channel and get some more information. But until then, I will see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.